Time Masters 30-inch cut. And these, I just sharpened up a spare set of blades. I'm going to take those blades off, put those on, sharpen them up. I'm going to put those on this one, and then take those off and get them sharpened up. For the next one, just keep switching them out like that. That'll kind of keep things moving. On these Time Masters, they have a timed blade system on them. And if you don't time those blades, they will bang together. Now, as long as your belt is okay and there's no issues with it, it hasn't slipped or jumped timing or anything like that, and about the best way you can tell it if it has or not is you set one blade sideways, the other blade should be I guess 90 degrees to it. If that is the way it is, then you can go ahead and just swap the blades out without having to worry about anything. And I'll show you why you won't have to worry about anything. Well, that's because you can't get the bolt off. Until they've been sitting. All right. And that piece came off with it. Come on. So these blades have 3 holes in it. Obviously, one of the holes is for the bolt, but these 2 smaller holes are for these 2 tabs here, and they lock into the blade. Now, so I get you a closer look. The spindle assembly has these 2 notches in it, and that's what the back of the adapter looks like. So that's already going to be set there and waiting to go. All you got to do is take the blade off and put it back on. As long as there's no issues with your timing belt, it hasn't jumped timing or anything like that. And like I said, the way you can tell that is if you set one of your blades sideways, the other blade should be 90 degrees to it. So that's a good indication that your timing belt has not jumped. If it hasn't jumped, swapping the blades out is going to go just like any other mower when you're swapping out the blades. So. Since they've been sitting all winter long, most likely outside, we are going to put a little bit of Never Seez on that bolt. And install the blade. Make sure you put the blade on the proper way. Put it on upside down, it doesn't like to cut very well. I believe I've already showed you that in one of my other videos. You don't need to kill them. Just snug them up pretty good, and that'll be good enough. Does not want to come off. see if we can jam this up somehow. That ought to work. Good Lord. I know damn well I didn't put these fuckers on. I cannot stand somebody over tightens these damn things. Oh, for crying out loud. Because it's uncalled for and ridiculous. As you can see, that's wasted time. And it looks like we just broke the belt. Yep, we broke the belt. Trying to get this thing to lock up so we can get the blades off. Just cost the man more money, unnecessary money, because somebody has over tightened the hell out of this for no reason. It is not needed. That is ridiculous. You hear that? That is crazy. So I got a breaker bar plus a piece of pipe to break that off of there. And there's no reason for it. I can tell you now, I was not the last person to put those on. It's cold out here. Who's wants to run? Well, a couple more threads on there would be nice. Back on there. Alright, so since the belt broke, or if it didn't break, at least jump timing, but I'm pretty sure it will break or come off, because this is turning extremely easy, as if the belt has either jumped off or broke. But I will show you what you need to do to make sure you get that belt timed properly so you don't bang your blades together. The customer wants to save money as much as he can, and I actually want to save the customer money as much as I can. All right, we have got that one done. When I get to the point where I can flip this over and start working on the belt, I'll bring you guys back for that. So we're going to pull the cover off and we're going to take a look under there and see what happened. This is the one that either popped the belt somehow, whether it either broke it or whatever, when we were trying to get that blade off. I just got done with the blades on that one, and they zipped right off pretty easy. We have to take this off anyway to inspect the belts and inspect the pulleys, but we might have to replace one because it may have broke. Alright, so there's 4 screws that'll take this cover out. Here, here, there, and one around the side here. And they are like a 3/8 or a 10 millimeter. Pop that cover off, make sure you don't lose your screws. And since these screws go into aluminum, this whole deck is aluminum. Like this part over here, it goes into aluminum. All that's aluminum. This piece here is aluminum. All those screws will go into aluminum, so I always never seize them. And yes, we did break our belt, so we will have to make sure that this thing is timed properly so we don't bang our blades together. And I do have a couple of these belts that I did order just in case you needed them. All right, I found the belt. I remember getting it in the mail the other day. I just couldn't remember what box it was put in. So that's the part number that I ordered. So we got the new belt right here. We're gonna blow off the deck there. Well, I was pretty sure that these pulleys had arrows on them so that you knew that you had to point the arrows in a certain direction, but for some reason I don't see them on here. Check your pulleys while you got things loosened up. Here's the other PTO drive belt. And this is the newer mower, I do believe. We'll take a look at that. Belt pretty good. Looks okay for now, but all right. So, this is what I'm going to do. Since it doesn't have the indicators on it, I'm going to set one way. We're going to just put a mark on it, and we are going to set the other one completely side to that one. I believe that'll be it. Yeah, I think that'll work. So this is what I'm doing. You can do it however way you want. What I got, I just made a red mark that way and a red mark that way. I've got this blade this way. I have that blade this way. So in my mind, if I got both paint marks pointing towards me, then I know that I've got good timing. And that's just how I'm going to do it. But a lot of these machines that have timed blades, they usually give you timing marks to work with. For some reason, these don't. At least not that I can find on it. So just make your own, however way you want to do it. As long as it works, that's all that matters. All right. I think I got to take apart more than I really have to, or should have to, in order to get this belt on, if I remember right. So, of course I don't have my 3/8 wrench, whatever that might be. So, you're going to have to take this guard off so you can get this belt out of the way. And then you're going to have to, I believe, squeeze the handle up there to open up the brake back in here, just so you can get that part of the belt on. So let's get this off. We're probably going to put some never seals on that too, because again, these screws screw into aluminum. All right. Roll that out of the way. I like these little spring clamps because they're good for holding this stuff down on push mowers and walk behind mowers, things like that. I'm going to put that on there to open up the brake that's back in there. There we go. That PB blaster starting to work its way in. Free it up some. We might be able to save it. Yeah. Hopefully we can save it. Anybody know what I did with my clamp? Oh, there it is. You gotta speak up and say something. If you see it, let me know. All right, let's spray some more PB blaster down there. Let it work its way through. All right. Make sure my timing mark's back where it needs to be. Got the belt here. Yeah. See. Let me show you what they did to make this more difficult than it really needs to be. So there is plenty of room to squeeze that belt past that plastic pulley, right? But they put this great big old metal pulley up top with this machine surface on it so that the brake can ride on. But now it left you no room to squeeze the belt past. So, we gotta take this apart. Get it out of our way. An extra step that probably could have been eliminated with a little better engineering. So, let me get some wrenches for that. Yep, that's a 3/4 wrench. And now we're gonna have to flip this thing up because we're gonna have to hold on to the blade while we try to break that loose. So don't forget about your screws that you might have laying on your deck. You don't want to flip it up and lose them. Nut and a washer. I don't think the blade will fall through, so slide this off. And it is keyed, so it's got that little pattern to it right there, and the shaft looks like that also. Now we should be able to put our belt on. And I might have to loosen up this adjuster, possibly. We'll see. Be careful you don't cut your hand under here on those nice sharp blades you just sharpened. Wear a pair of gloves. Come on, just about there. And even though that was slid forward as far as it could go, you still had to roll it on. So once you get it on, just verify that your marks are like they should be. And they are in this case. You gotta release that. Don't over tighten your belts. They don't need to be banjo tight. They are going to stretch a little bit. And I will test run this before I put the guard back on. Give it a turn, make sure you don't hear nothing banging together. flip it up, take a good look at it. So yeah, looks pretty good. Plenty of clearance. That was facing this way. It might be off a tooth, but it's okay. It's plenty of clearance. I'm not gonna try to take this apart again just for one tooth when you have plenty of clearance. So unless there's some other reason I need to that I'm not aware of, I wouldn't even waste the time to do it. So that's how you change a timing belt. That's how you set up your blades so they don't bang together. And hopefully this will help you out if you're working on one of these. It can be a little time consuming, but it's got to be done. I hope you like the content. If you do, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe. Send me some comments. And be kind and help people when you can.